So, hello everybody, welcome back. Have you heard about L.A.T?
Imagine a committed relationship where both partners live separately. Surprised? Meet the concept of living apart together, or L.A.T. It's not about distance, but about space and independence. For some, L.A.T. is about personal growth, having their own rhythm, yet remaining deeply committed. No arguments over TV shows or whose turn it is to cook. It's like having the best of both worlds. Their dates? Just as special, maybe even more. Because every meet feels like the early dating days. But, like all choices, L.A.T. has its challenges. How do you ensure connection without daily presence? For some, it strengthens trust. For others, it can sow seeds of doubt. Technology is a boon, keeping L.A.T. couples connected, helping them share their daily lives virtually. It's not just a youth trend. Some elderly couples choose L.A.T., cherishing their independence, while adoring their partner from just a block away. So, is living apart together a revolutionary relationship model, or just a recipe for distance? There's no one-size-fits-all in love. What matters is understanding, trust, and the choice to shape our own love story.
This is the new way to do relationships right. And I find it quite interesting. Okay, so I compiled a few clips. Let's take a look and I'll come back with my thoughts at the end of the video. Okay, let's get into it.
4 perks of living apart together relationships. Okay, so living apart together is a relationship trend where committed couples maintain their own separate homes while still being romantically involved. It's all about having a deep connection minus the shared address. 1, it'll spice things up. Living apart can turn up the heat because you're not always around each other, so every hang feels a bit more special and creates unpredictability and some needed tension. 2, you get to have your cake and eat it too by enjoying a committed relationship while still keeping your independence. You get your own space, your own routines, and your me time is baked in. It's a relief not having to consider your partner all the time. 3, say goodbye to arguments about dirty dishes or whose turn it is to vacuum. Living apart means less domestic friction. You get your space just the way you like it, making the time you spend together more about fun and less about chores. 4, living apart provides the flexibility to structure your relationship in a way that suits both of your unique needs and circumstances, whether it's due to different lifestyle preferences, work schedules, social desires, or other factors. Maintaining separate homes provides the freedom to live life on your own terms.
Living apart together, highly recommend. I wish this was like a setup that people told me when I was, 20, and then I could actually make decisions for myself other than being on the conveyor belt of life. But here we are. Living apart together has drastically changed my life, and I just want to inform you on what's available to you should you be looking for a relationship in the future that doesn't involve getting married or living together or joining your finances or anything like that. Now, what living apart together means is that you're together, but you don't live together. You love each other, but you don't live together. You support each other, but you don't live together. You go out on dates and then sleep over at their house and then you come home. That's living apart together. And you know what? It's created so much stability in my life. I've got my kids this week. My partner stayed over a total of 2 days. I mean, he's welcome to stay more, but it took me 2.5, 3 years before I even let him have sleepovers at my house. Because why? Why did we need to have them? Like, we were together on my non-parenting time, but I also had days to myself, and I still do that to this day, 4 years later. And then on my parenting time, I'm mainly mom, and I'm doing my business, and I am coaching people, and I'm working for tech, and I live my life, and we talk on the phone. Now, there are some things that I feel like are a little tough, like when your whole house gets COVID and they can't come over and help take care of you because then they get COVID. So that kind of sucks. But, that's like a 2 times a year thing. And right now it works really well for me. And I just wanted to let you know, like, you just got to get good at negotiating the rules, right? And then you renegotiate when it stops working for you. And then it starts working for you again. It's a beautiful thing called communication. And you can have that in a relationship if you take the emotion out of it and you're like, this is what I need in this season of my life. We need to adjust our living apart together arrangement. And the other person, you work it out. You work out the details. And then you just say goodbye to being smothered. because that will never happen in these situations. I'm not saying I'm going to do it forever. I'm just saying for like the last 4 years and for the foreseeable future, this is how it is, and I absolutely love it. It works for me and my kids. Ask me any questions that you have. Happy to answer. Living apart together.
So my husband and I have been married for 7 years, and we recently decided to have 2 different apartments in New York City. A question that we get often is, how do we come to this idea, and how did the conversation start? And it's been something that we've been thinking about for a while, and it's kind of something that we discussed when we were dating, of how awesome would it be if we could just be life partners and continue to live our individual lives and be super independent and confident in who we are out in the world, and then come together to share our love and partnership. But we did get married because we are South Asian, and we had a lot of pressure from our family, and we loved each other very much, and we wanted to be together for the rest of our lives. But slowly along the way, we found ourselves falling into super traditional norms of me being the caretaker and him being the breadwinner. I started to feel like I was depending on him financially, and he started to feel like he couldn't really take care of himself. And I think marriage is a beautiful thing, and I love being married and I love having a partner. But I think what marriage does sometimes is kind of puts you into these roles, whereas as whole people, we're all capable of doing both masculine and feminine things. And now that we live apart, we are able to step fully into our roles of the balanced divine and masculine, and we're able to take care of ourselves fully independently and bring the best versions of ourselves together without depending on each other for core necessities. And we really knew that we needed a situation like this versus a separation, because there's nothing wrong with our marriage. We love each other very much, and we're very happy together, and we love spending time together. And when we're together, we're really inseparable, and we're really happy. So, not to say that this is for everyone, but if you're curious about this lifestyle, feel free to drop comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer some more questions.
This post is a few years old, but it's still appropriate for some of the conversations that I've been having on my pages. Older women don't want to live with their male partners. Here's why. So this is what this woman says. Let's get into the article, because she dives in and starts talking to older women. She says, a rift is emerging between single older women and the men they date, according to a recent Globe and Mail article. Increasingly, 60-something men are discovering that women their age are all for having male partners, but they don't want to live with them. They prefer to be L.A.Ts, living apart together. Okay, so L.A.T, living apart together. So that is a term that people are using. The article says, well, a woman quoted in the article says, I don't want to take care of anybody. I want to take care of me. It takes time, energy, and resources to take care of somebody, especially if that person hasn't been taking care of themselves, especially if that person doesn't know how to clean up after themselves. So it's challenging. This is why a lot of women are opting for L.A.Ts. All right, who can blame her? Given all the caregiving women typically do. But that isn't exactly accurate. Just because you live apart from your romantic partner doesn't mean you aren't caring and loving and kind towards them. It just means that you aren't wrapped up in all of the daily minutia of their life and space, which allows you the space and time to focus on each other. Not everybody is ready or can wrap their minds around living apart but being together. Here is what a few women had to say. All right, so this woman says, a choice, not a necessity. Living together would be amazing, but I just think it gets harder to find or negotiate harmony and compatibility in a living situation as you age. And when women or men are financially independent, not rich, but able to support themselves, living together becomes a choice, but not necessary. Time for themselves. Something that hasn't been mentioned is many of these women may have been involved in caring for their elderly parents. It seems to always fall on the daughter. They've seen firsthand what happens as we age and don't want that role again. After generally being the main caregiver for the kids and then the parents, they want and need time for themselves. Exactly. This is spot on. Women have more choices. If you're a grouchy old guy who makes little financial contribution, doesn't cook or clean, and isn't a ball of fun to be around, and looks at women of his own generation as second best, what are you offering an independent 70-year-old woman who can look after herself? The sexes have become more equal, which means women have more choices. Brava. Completely agree. Men have to be valuable. Men have to be wanted. Women can just say no and go hang with her friends. Y'all jump in the comments and tell me.
If you've ever considered a living apart together long-term relationship, I highly recommend it. My partner and I have been together for 5 years and we have no intention of ever living together. We bought houses 10 minutes apart from each other so we could be close, but not too close. In the past, I just figured out that I do not enjoy cohabitation. And so when I started this relationship, I made sure to be clear about the fact that I'm not interested in living together. This concept was new to my partner, but he's loving it. It works great for him as well. I'm someone who really likes my alone time. I like my own space, and I'm very particular about my space. And frankly, I'm a better partner when I get to live separately. There is some weird social stigma associated with the fact that if you don't want to live with your partner, then obviously you don't love him, or this is not the right partner for you, but that's not true. There's no partner in the world that will change who I am as a person and what I need. And so living apart together relationships work for me, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
So, what do you think about this? Isn't it interesting? I feel like I hear freedom. I hear I have my own, he has his own. Like, I get to stay in my house, I do my own dishes, I don't do your laundry, you don't do my laundry. I don't have to bring my kids around you. I mean, we have separate Christmases. You know, do we go on separate vacations? I mean, that can be negotiated, but I find it very interesting. Okay, I feel like it's refreshing, it's new, and this could change the dynamics of dating and relationships. But I'm also thinking then that could open doors to cheating. But let me know what you think in the comment section. I find it quite interesting, okay, and that's why I brought it to you. What do you think? Have you experienced this? Is this how you're doing relation? Have you ever been in this situation before? Because it's given long distance without the distance. It's like short distance relationship. But I have my own place, you have your own place, but hey, we are still in a relationship. And I think it's cool. Okay? Tell me what you think in the comment section. And I'll see you with another video tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Bye.